Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, we're going to create an Azure Synapse Workspace. So um so again, every time before I start a lab, I would I would always want to visit the Microsoft um website just to the learn.microsoft.com website just to just to view the most update article about that lab that I'm creating. So as you could see here, this says that the last time that this article was updated is on 03/24/2020 second. So, um, so create a Synapses workspace. So open the Azure portal. So it's pretty explanatory. So if you follow this, so I'm always gonna make sure that I leave a link on this at the bottom of my description page. So if you want to, you could just, you know, click on the link and it'll take you right to this article. So should you wanna follow with this, so So, by the way, guys, so there's a note here that says, like, after creating your Azure Synapse workspace, you will not be able to move the workspace to another Azure Active Directory tenant. So if you do so through subscription migration or other actions, you may lose access to the artifacts within the workspace. So it talks about like Synapse Studio and stuff like that. So prepare an existing storage account to use with Synapses Analytics and stuff like that. So these are different steps on how to do. And that's one thing I appreciate about Microsoft is the fact that every article, every features that they have within Azure, they have not only Azure, but all the Microsoft's websites, in all the Microsoft articles and features, they always have something that explain them just to make them better. So um so let's not just wasting time. Let's just go ahead and drop in this portal real quick and then start creating start create this lab. So again, this lab today is about creating Azure Synapses. So we could just go here and say Synapses, type that, Azure Synapses Analytics, and then we just click on create. So basically, now first and foremost, let's say if you were to ask like if you were to ask like what is Azure Synapses Analytics? So Azure Synapses is a limitless analytics service that brings together enterprise data warehouses and big data analytics. So it gives you the freedom to query data on your terms using their serverless and dedicated resources. So let's go ahead and create a new resource group. I'm gonna call this RG1 as usual. So I'm sorry, let me just type that again. So it's RG1 and dang. Now, let's make a name for it. We could say AZMRG. So this is Azure. This stands for Azure. So this stands for Azure Managed Resource Group. Now let's go ahead and give it a name. So you see it says like workspace details. So name your workspace, select a location, and choose a primary data lake, storage, generation second file system to serve as the default location for logs and job output. So, um, so so basically, let's go ahead and give it a name. So we could call this AZWNN, which stands for Azure Workspace Name. So it all got it lowercase, so WN. All right, so now we're gonna put this on the East US region as usual. Let's see, so East US right there. And now they have um select data lake storage second generation. Select data storage second generation. So basically what that is, there is either, yeah, there's select data workspace second generation is just to unlock data. It's just to unlock data. So what that is just to enable the hierarchical namespace. So it's just to unlock data storage capabilities by selecting the enable hierarchical workspace. So settings in the advanced, whatever. So that's just what that really means. So you could use data lake storage second generation capability, create a storage account. So let's go ahead and give this a name. Let's call it AZ. Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, we're gonna create one. That's what AZ. And so data, let's say data lake store. So then is invalid, and the namespace between character and length. So they gotta be all lowercase. So let's say AZ data lake and AZ data lake storage. Storage 1. Okay, so the name is the good. Now, if you read here, you would see it says down here like we will automatically grant the workspace identity, data access to the specified data lake storage generation second account using the storage blob data contributor role. So to enable other users to use this storage account after you create your workspace, perform these tasks. So assign other users to the contributor role on workspace and assign other users to appropriate Synapse role-based access control role using Synapse Studio and stuff like that, and assign yourself and other users to the storage blob data contributor role on the storage account. So so now on the file system, we can create one and just name this AZ file as system and name as name. And this is available, so we're gonna hit that. Now, let's get to security. So So as you could see here on the security side, sorry. Oh. So on the security side, so on the security side, all that is like Azure Synapse implement a multi-layered, a multi-layered security architecture for front-to-front protection of your data. So these are 5 layers. So data protection to identity and classifying sensitive data and encrypt data and rest. To encrypt data at rest and in motion. So access control to determine a user's right to interact with data. So if you could read here, you would see it says that configuration security option for your workspace. And so authentication, it says that choose the authentication method for access to workspace resources such as SQL pools. The authentication method can be changed later on. So you could either choose both, which is local and Azure Active Directory, which is AZAD authentication, or if you want to, you could just choose just one. And so use only Azure Active Directory. But I would definitely want to leave this as default and just, I'm not sure what password that is. So we're gonna go ahead and just type in the password real quick. Is this too short? I think we're good. Just erase these two and see. All right, so it started. All right. Now, it says that system assign manage identity permissions. So it's select to grant the workspace network access to the data lake, storage, generation second account using the workspace system identity. So yeah, all you gotta do is just making sure that we get this. Now guys, we could allow, if you want to, you could allow network access to data lake storage generation second account. Let's just go here before we do anything. Once you browse through it, you see where it says that Workspace will have network access to your data lake storage generation second account using the Workspace system assigned identity. So now I can leave everything here by default. Let me just go ahead and go to the networking portion. So it says configure network option for your workspace. So you could, it says manage virtual network. You could either choose enable or disable. So whatever that you want to do, let's just go on tag. If you want to, you could give a name, a tag name and value, but I'll just go ahead and review and create just to, for the purpose of making this video too long. So now, by the way, you may have a few questions. You may ask like, what is Microsoft Synapse used for? So Azure Synapse Analytics is a limitless analytics service that brings together data integration, enterprise data warehouse, and big data analytics. So it gives you the freedom to query data on your terms using either serverless or dedicated option at scales. Now, by the way, I think you must know that. So using Microsoft Data Synapses can be very expensive. So a tier one is $5,000 commute. Commute unit, and tier two can be $10,000. Tier three can be $24,000, and a tier four can be $60,000. So just keep that in mind. So now you may have the question like, why is it that the Synapse is so expensive? Well, the solution is very expensive because it often requires to purchase of additional storage. So these are no license required for Microsoft Azure Synapse Analytics. The model is more of use-based system. You got to pay for computing power and disk storage. Now the other question that, let's say for instance, like you may ask like, where is data stored in Synapses? Synapse. I call it Synapse, but you can call it Synapses, whatever. So Azure Synapse uses Azure Data Lake Storage second generation as the data warehouse and consistent data model that incorporates administration, monitoring, and metadata management section. So yeah. Now, guys, question. What is the difference between Microsoft SQL and Synapses? Well, Azure SQL database provides an easy to maintain data storage with predictable cost structures, while Azure Synapse provides control and features, I'm sorry, not future, and features such as pausing computational tasks in order to efficiently manage costs. And now you may wonder, like, why does Synapse need a storage account? Well, your Azure Synapse Workspace will use this storage account as the primary storage account for the container to store Workspace data. The Workspace data stored in Apache Spark tables. It stores Spark application logs under the folder called Synapse Workspace name. So we're just going over different questions that you may have just to kill time before we get to go through resources. Now, going to resources, you may click. So going to resources, and now let's say you wanna go to, now let's say you wanna go to, to edit tags. Now we could go to the workspace here, right? Now the workspace has been created. It shows you the resource group, the status. It says succeed. It means that it's created it. The location is on East US. The subscription, it gives you the subscription ID. It gives you the managed virtual network, which is no. So the networking shows power and stuff like that. So now the interesting thing that I want to get into before we end this lab today is that there's a workspace URL. So if you were to click this here, right, it would definitely take you to Azure Synapse Analytics. So that's the fun thing about Create Synapse. Now, What is Synapse? So, guys, so yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of giving you all these views so you could, monitor your, the analytics of your big data and everything. So if you says accept, reject, and more options and stuff like that. So Azure Synapse is a very interesting tool to use, even though that it's expensive. Now, my last question is Azure Synapse a SQL database? Now, you wonder, right? So Azure Synapse SQL is a big data analytics. A database. So that enable you to query, analyze your data using the T-SQL language. You can use standard NC compliant dialect for SQL language used for SQL Server and Azure SQL Database for data analytics. So now, is Synapse is a platform as service or software as service? Well, Azure Synapse Analytics is a cloud-based platform as service, guys. It's offering on Azure platform, which provides limitless analytics service using either serverless, on demand, or provisioning resources at scales. So I love this technology. Honestly, I do. I love it. Now, guys, why is Synapse better than Snowflake? Well, Snowflake performs well, integrates with a wide range of tools, includes easy administration, and has varying compute capacity option. On the other hand, Synapse performs well as easy integration with the Azure ecosystem that offers a more diverse experience for data processing and database type. So now, my last question before I leave for today is that what is the benefit of Azure Synapse? So unmatched security, experience limitless scales and query data on your term, discover powerful insight across all your data, harness the power of a unified analytics, experience converged data, workspace in Azure, Synapse Link, safeguard data with unmatched security and privacy. So thank you so very much for following along with me. I appreciate every time you get the chance to stop by into my channel. I'm looking forward to see you on the next lab, so stay tuned. See you later. Thank you and stay focused.